Hey friends, Allison here. Welcome back to my channel. I am back today to share with you another 6x8 layout. This is a layout that is going inside of a page protector, and this time I'm playing with one of the older Ellie Edwards story kits. This is Community that I am playing with, and I am using bits of embellishments from the kit to put this layout together. I did design it in Cricut Design Space first, like I always do, and then used my Cricut to help decorate the page as well. So I'm starting with my photos right now. I'm matting them to a strip of gray cardstock, just smooth, plain gray cardstock. The photos are printed at 2.75 inches by 3 3/4 inches. There's 2 of them. And I just used my ATG to attach them to that gray cardstock. That is going onto a white panel that I created in Cricut Design Space. So there is a little border and some embellishments in the top right-hand corner and then down at the bottom below the journaling. I used the draw and cut function to create those using different colored pens. And then this is where I bring in some of the embellishments from the Community Story Kit by Ellie Edwards. So I pulled out this little heart. It has a grid pattern on it. It looks like white on the screen, but it does have a faint blue pattern over top of it. And then I'm going to attach this phrase that says connections on it, but first I'm going to mat it to white cardstock so that it is easier to read. Also, I chose to do that because I was worried that if I used liquid glue to attach it, you'd see the glue through it. I didn't want that to happen. I don't have red line tape in my stash. I've used it all up and haven't restocked. So this was a way for me to get around that problem. What I did to attach that phrase to the white cardstock is pulled out my mini stapler from Close to My Heart. I don't believe they have this anymore, but there are other places around that have mini staplers. I'll link all the products in the description box down below and where you could find a little stapler like the one that I just used. So I stapled that phrase to textured white cardstock, and then that is going to be glued over top of the heart. So I'm just trying to kind of figure out where I want it on that heart. I'm using a little bit of liquid glue to attach it, and then I'm going to use another phrase that also came in the kit below it. It's quite long, very thin, but quite long, so I'm going to trim off both ends just a little bit because there is a little bit of space to trim that down. You could see me there just thinking about placement and what I wanted to do with this little strip here too. Because it's so dark, I wasn't as worried about liquid glue showing through. I don't think that'll happen. It's also really small as well. So I just added a little bit of glue to the bottom portion of that heart and then put the phrase over top of it. You will see what the phrase there says at the end of the video in the close-ups. Now I'm just using ATG to attach this panel to an offset panel that I created in Cricut Design Space that was cut from toffee cardstock. It's just slightly larger than this white panel. I think the white panel is 5 3/4 inches by 7 1/4, roughly. And then this is all going to be layered onto this stripe pattern paper, which also came from the Ellie Edwards Community Kit. It was 7 by 8 1/4 inches tall to begin with, but I trimmed it down so it's 6 by 8 so I can get that into a page protector. Once that is done, I think I am pretty well finished. I have a little embellishment that I created with my Cricut. I created or chose 2 hearts from the shapes panel right in my canvas, and then converted those to draw files, attached them together so that they're like interlocking hearts, and then used the offset function to draw and cut those hearts out. That is going to turn into just a tiny little embellishment. I'm going to add one of the phrase stickers from the kit over top of it, but because they are clear, see-through, I'm going to pop that on top of some white cardstock as well, because I realized that it would probably get lost in the photo, the last part of it anyways, because it's dark right in that spot. So here is the white cardstock. I'm going to trim that down, cut it out roughly first, and then I clean it up afterwards, just following the edges of the sticker to do my cutting. And I'll use liquid glue to attach that over top of the cute little hearts as well. I do color in the 2 little stars that I drew directly onto the white panel. I used a black pen to draw those, and then I used a brown pen, the suntan pen, to draw the little circles around those stars as well. All of those shapes were also from the shapes panel right on the canvas. Here's the close-ups. Thank you so much for joining me today, friends. I hope my layout inspired you. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. If you would like, please give me a thumbs up and a like, and I will be back again soon with more creative inspiration. Bye, friends.